Welcome back to Radio Row. Parker Hollander and Toby Zabore sitting down with NFL veteran Brandon Coleman. Soul Cole. Soul, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me here.
Hey, we really appreciate having you on the show. Always great to have more veteran voices, especially crazy day here on Radio Row. It's always great to have more NFL voices here on the show. How have you been enjoying New Orleans since being here? Obviously, you played your career with the Saints. What's it like to be back here in NOLA?
It's always good to come back to the city, man. I feel like this is a second home. I was actually on my flight down here, and I'm thinking, man, this is a home game for me. You know, not everybody can say that. So it's good to be back in the city. I love the culture and just love the city.
Yeah, we talked to Jonathan Casillas yesterday. He talked about the
JC.
fans here. How special are the fans in New Orleans?
They're the top. They're the top of the top of the NFL fan base, in my opinion. And it may be biased, but that I'm rocking with them. They've been rocking with us, through thick and thin, through any weather, through any season. So it's something that they show up and show out every time.
Now, you were born and raised in Maryland, if
Yes.
I'm not incorrect. Did you grow up a Ravens fan? Because I'm from Baltimore, so I immediately have to ask, did you grow up watching the Ravens, or do you have a hometown team?
The hometown team for me was actually the Redskins before the Commanders.
Gotcha.
I was Southern Maryland. Baltimore is more Northern Maryland. And so, but at that time, to be honest, like the Redskins weren't like as competitive as they are now, right? So I was just like, I'm going to just be a fan of players instead of just attaching, to a team.
Yeah. Also, I do want to ask, just going into your early career, with the draft coming up, you were an undrafted free agent, ended up carving out a really nice career for yourself in New Orleans.
Yeah.
What is it like, because we've got a lot of guys who are really talented but aren't going to end up getting picked in this upcoming 2025
Yeah.
NFL draft, being held at Lambeau Field. What would your advice be to them, and what was it like for you having to carve your own path after not getting selected?
At the end of the day, if this is like your why, like this is what you want to do, keep going. Like all you need is a small opportunity. You never know when that opportunity is going to come. You might just get an invite to a rookie mini camp, and that's your invitation, and you can go out there and beat out a starting guy and in training camp, right? So just be prepared for your opportunity when that comes and stay ready so you don't got to get ready.
And I got to ask, what was it like getting that invite from the Saints and then getting the call that you were going to be on the roster?
So that first season, going down to New Orleans, I was super excited, and going into training camp. After training camp, I didn't make the initial 53-man roster, but I got opportunity to come back on the practice squad. So again, that door was still open for me to come and just still compete and still show face and still show why I was deserving of an opportunity. And then that following season, I came back after OTAs and was like, listen, I'm going to break through this door, and that's what I did, and I didn't look back.
And you were a wide receiver, obviously, in the Saints offense during the height of Sean Payton's powers.
Yeah.
Now he's over in Denver.
Yeah.
What do you like about what he's done for Denver, bringing in a lot of young receivers, a lot of young talent, also revitalizing Cortland Sutton's career,
Yeah.
even with a couple question marks at quarterback in veteran Russell Wilson, who was allegedly falling off. We'll see how that all ends up shaking out.
Yeah.
And now a rookie in Bo Nix.
Yeah, so I really was going to make my talking point about Bo Nix. Right, I got a chance to see Bo Nix at Oregon, got a chance to speak to him at Oregon his last year. So I saw when Sean Payton got to teach Bo Nix, his offense and his scheme and his system. I was really encouraged to see like how that was going to develop. So I'm not surprised to see the success that they were able to have and be competitive this year in that division.
Yeah, we got to talk to Marcus Harper II from Oregon
Yeah.
a lot yesterday. He had nothing but good things to say about Bo Nix.
Yeah, great
he
leader.
really, considering how much he developed immediately in the league. People thought he was going to be a low-ceiling guy. He's already showing
Yeah.
what he's got at the league level. I want to come over to your career post-NFL.
Yeah.
You have a book with you today,
Yes.
Soul Cole. You have published Mighty Soul Adventures, A Journey to Emotional Mastery. How about you talk to us about this children's book you published?
Yeah, it's something I'm extremely excited about in partnership with my nonprofit, Soul Impact, which is to bridge the gap between mind and body for our young kids. This next generation needs help with finding tools that can help regulate their emotions. And reading is very fundamental, and this is a book that I'm excited to share with them as another tool for their toolbox, and along with other products that we have at Soul Impact. And so this is the first one to let them know that their superpower is their breath.
Without spoiling too much, what can you tell us about the story?
I can tell you that this is obviously this is a journey that everyone takes in life, right? And this is a moment where you're going to find ups and downs, paths, things that are going to come up. And how are you going to move past those, right? And remembering that your power is within through your breath.
Now I got to ask about the publishing process of the book, because I know a lot of people who have tried to go through, get children's books, any kind of book published. Was that difficult for you? Did you find this one to be a little more streamlined?
To be honest, it comes down to who you know. So I actually ended up knowing the guy, BKS Publishing, helped me from start to finish and getting this book out on Ingram Sparks, and now it can get distributed on all platforms.
Love to hear it. The other thing you're here representing today, you are part of the 23andMe Athlete Ambassador Program. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the thing that I've always been aligned with is mind, body, and soul, and 23andMe speaks to that total health component, and it's all about self-awareness. And if you really want to know yourself, it's important to get that information. And so I think it was aligned, and I'm glad that I can be in partnership with them this Super Bowl.
That's what I like to hear. Sol Cole, before we let you go, really appreciate having you on the program. Before we let anybody go here on the Radio Row Review, we have to ask, what is your Super Bowl 59 prediction between the Chiefs and the Eagles?
The Eagles. I got the Eagles. I hope it's a close game. I hope it's a one-possession game, but I got the Eagles pulling it out.
Do you think that the wide receivers are going to make a difference, or what do you think the X
defense wins championships at the end of the day. The defense is going to have to make a play on Patrick Mahomes and their offense, and I think the Eagles are going to do that.
Sol Cole, Brandon Coleman, Saints wide receiver, formerly of Rutgers. Sol, thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having me.